Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we are doing our NFL Week 11 or 12 NFL predictions. So, yeah, last week, me and my dad both went 9-5. Both of us still have winning records. I'm currently in the lead by 3, and we're looking to keep that today. So, yeah, there's no word of the day. My friend is in Georgia, so he's not answering his phone right now, so I can't get a word of the day. As of time of recording, 11:39. I'm a little bit late, but I had to get another Madden video, or I had to play another Madden game to get footage so that it could last for the. You guys know what I mean. Okay. Anyways, yeah, let's get into it. So first up, we got the Bears versus the Falcons. And you guys know how I feel about the Bears, and you guys obviously know how I feel about the Falcons. So, the Bears just had a really tough loss against the Lions, I believe, after coming off of a tough loss against the Dolphins. They've had some pretty close games, and they've been playing pretty well in those games, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched them because I really don't like watching the Bears, but they've been playing some good games recently. However, I'm not picking against the Falcons for the rest of the year. I think you guys know this. I'm trying to get first in the division right now, and I don't feel like rooting against my favorite team. So, of course, we're going to take the Atlanta Falcons. Lost 2 games in a row, looking to get back into it, trying to pull ahead for that lead. And a lot of people are saying to bench Marcus Mariota, which at the start of the season I would have been fine with. But as of right now, I think it's probably a better idea to keep Marcus Mariota in since we're still in range for, competition. We could potentially make the playoffs if we play well enough. And I just don't think we need to put that much pressure on Desmond Ridder in his first season of the NFL. Now, if we would have started the season with Desmond Ridder off and just said, hey, we're going to be terrible regardless, so go and play, and then we got the first overall draft pick this year, that's fine. But now that we're in this situation, I think we might as well just keep Marcus Mariota in, let Desmond Ridder learn, and just chill out until next year. So, yeah. Next up, we got the Eagles versus the Colts. And I am very proud of my Eagles prediction last week. I know I didn't pick that the Eagles would lose to the Commanders, because you just can't pick against them. However, I did say out of all the teams that they played, they have the most chance to lose to the Commanders. And they ended up losing to the Commanders. I said it was the most likely that they would lose to them, and they did. So I'm actually kind of crazy like that. However, the Colts looked really good last week playing against the Raiders. Ended up winning the game with Jeff Saturday. I really did not expect that from him. A new coach really hasn't really coached anywhere. Was just calling plays and. They were working. Put Matt Ryan back in, and they looked good. Can't really complain with how he coached. However, they're going up against a 9-1 Eagles team that just came off of a loss. They're not going to lose 2 in a row. I've got to take the Eagles. The Eagles are still one of the best teams in football, so I got to take the Eagles here over the Colts. So does my dad, and my dad also took the Falcons. If I don't say it, for the rest of this video, we didn't pick a single game different this week. So, just know that if I don't say it, we pick the same team. Okay, so next up, we got the Jets versus the Patriots. And now this is an interesting game. The Jets, really good team. Really good division. They're 3rd, but they're 6-3. Really tough divisional game right here. They have been looking good. They beat the Bills. Who did they play last week? Who did the Jets play last week?
There were a couple of Jets games between.
Who did the New York Jets play last week?
The Jets didn't play
Okay.
last Sunday.
So they had their bye week. They've had some time to plan up for this game. They're going up against the 5-4 Patriots, 4th in their division. This is a really interesting game. I really love Zach Wilson. I really love that young Jets team, but they're going up against a Bill Belichick-coached Patriots. And Bill Belichick, he has experience. He knows how to beat these young teams and put pressure on them. Like Zach Wilson, I'm sure he has some blitz schemes that Matthew Judon's going to freaking excel at and get like 5 sacks. I mean, it's just, there's always mistakes that young players make, and Bill Belichick knows how to force those mistakes to happen. So I got to take the Patriots here, and so does my dad, even though they do have a worse record, still going with the Patriots. Next up, we got the Commanders versus the Texans, and let me check ESPN because I don't know if Taylor Heineke is starting. ESPN. By the way, guys, I have a freaking Ark of Survival World that I started, and like single player, bro, it's the best I've ever freaking done. I'm going like crazy. Who am I searching up? Freaking Commanders. Like I just tamed a Sarco today. That's like the first time I've ever tamed anything that's not eating plants. So I'm actually kind of cool. So Taylor Heineke is still starting. Carson Wentz is on the injured reserve. And I will say this. The Commanders are actually absolutely decked out at quarterback. They got Taylor Heineke, Sam Howell, and Carson Wentz. Like, I know none of them are amazing, but they're all really good. And I don't know, that's just kind of cool. But Taylor Heineke is starting today. So that's interesting. Taylor Heineke, the whole reason why I thought that the Commanders had a chance against the Eagles is because Taylor Heineke just brings that spark. He's a new player, not much film is on him. They don't know a whole lot, and he just sparks the team. Now, if they would have had Carson Wentz in, I highly doubt they would have beat the Eagles. But they had Taylor Heineke in, and he just had that spark. And now they're going up against the Texans, who are a young team, haven't really won many games, are always competitive, but are really just never enough. I do love the Texans, but I gotta take the Commanders here, coming off of a win against the best team in football right now. So, yeah. Next up, we got the Rams versus the Saints. And the Rams really underformed from my expectations last week, losing to the Cardinals. The Rams are not looking good, but, the Rams just looking absolutely terrible. It's not good. And they have no draft picks. I think the Rams are in for a long couple of years of just losing and no hope for any draft picks. It's not looking good for them. And as for the Saints, it just came off of a loss to the Steelers, but I really don't think they'll lose to the Rams. I really do want the Saints to lose, I'm not going to lie, because the Saints are freaking in the NFC South. But I think I do got to take the Saints here. They are at home. They got Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's like the GOAT. Probably better than Matthew Stafford up to this point, because the Rams are just looking terrible. I haven't been watching their games because they're on the West Coast, always doing stuff when they're playing their games. So haven't really been paying much attention, but they're not winning. So I got to give the win to the Saints here, and so does my dad. So, yeah. Next up, we got the Browns. Who's starting for the Browns? Is Deshaun Watson back? I think I have my answer regardless, but I got his 2020 stats on here. Began practicing Monday and remains on track to make his Browns season debuts. Week 13. Okay, so he doesn't play until week 13. So, yeah. So no, he's not playing. It'll still be Jacoby Brissett. However, it's just, they're playing the Bills. The Bills just came off of a tough loss in overtime against the Vikings. By the way, I predicted that Vikings game. I specifically told y'all, I said their defense or offense is going to make a huge play at the end of the game to win it. It's going to come down to like a really close game, but their defense or offense always pulls through, and they freaking did, bro. Their offense came through on that 4th and 18. They didn't put the ball in the end zone. They got it down to the 1-yard line, which caused Josh Allen to fumble the ball. The defense picked it up and scored. Or did they score? I think Kirk Cousins had to throw it. I think they got it at the 1 or something. I'm not sure. But still ended up tying the game up. And then Patrick Peterson at the end of the game got his second game-winning interception of the year. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, it's just crazy game. I predicted it pretty well. I'm cool. So yeah. But anyways, the Browns, I really do like Jacoby Brissett, and I think he'll probably be a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson, as Deshaun Watson has just not played a game of football in 2 to 3 years. I mean, I don't know. I don't see him really being all that good as he used to be. It's been 2 years since he's played football competitively. I mean, he's had all that personal stuff going on. I really just don't see him being too good. And with all the things Jacoby Brissett's done, I mean, he's taking a team with the 31st defense in the league to 3 wins. I mean, he's done really well for himself. I gotta add the second game that I just played today. Okay, I'm back. Did my mic unplug? I don't know. I hope not. But it's really not. I really don't blame any of this on Jacoby Brissett's fault. The offense has been playing good. It's just they had the 31st defense in the league, and I don't think 2 years removed from football, Deshaun Watson is going to really change anything. I know he's not playing in this game, but I'm just talking about it. Obviously, I got the Bills beating the Browns. I mean, Browns had a lucky game against the Bengals. I'm taking the Bills here just because, the Bills, they're looking for a win. They just came off of a loss last week. They've got to win this one, and they will. So, yeah, that's really just all I had to say. But, yeah, taking the Bills. So is my dad. So, yeah, next up we got the Panthers versus the Ravens. Who did the Ravens play last week?
The Ravens didn't play last
They
week.
had their bye week. Who did the Panthers play last week?
There were a couple of Panthers games.
Who did the Carolina Panthers play last week?
The Panthers didn't play last week.
Okay, so both of them had freaking bye weeks. All right. Well, the Panthers have been looking good. I think I think their last game they beat the Falcons, which I mean, it's not too good. Had a really close game against the Falcons the week before that. So, I don't know. The Panthers have been looking pretty good up until the bye week. However, they're just really not that good of a team. The Ravens, very, very good team. Lamar Jackson's been running the ball very well, been throwing the ball very well. Their run game has been very good. Their defense has been amazing. Ravens are a really good team. And now, after all that stuff, like Lamar Jackson, obviously, the way he runs the ball and plays quarterback, I mean, he's got to take a break. And he just got his week off. Now his legs are going to be back. He's going to be running. He's going to be throwing. And it's going to look really good for the Ravens here. And the Ravens, I got to be honest, they're just a better team. So I got to take them over the Panthers here. Yeah. All right, next up we got the Lions versus the Giants. And the Lions just came off of a huge, 2 really big divisional wins over the Packers and the Bears. Really close games. So I think it was 15-6 against the Packers and 31-30 against the Bears. And so they've looked really good in the past couple of weeks after having a big losing stretch. Their offense is starting to get back to it. Their defense is starting to look a lot better. And they've just been playing really good. However, they're going up. Who did the Giants play last week?
The Giants
They played the Texans. However, they are going up against the Giants, and the Giants just had a really easy game last week. Really, they played the Texans, and they're a really good team, and if you're going up against the Texans, it shouldn't be that difficult to win. They only won by 8 points, but I don't really know where I'm going with this, but, they weren't putting their bodies on the line for that game, is just what I'm saying. It was a competitive game, but I don't really know. But, anyways, Lions have been looking really good, but the Giants are probably one of the better teams in football right now. Daniel Jones is looking really good. That defense is looking really good. Saquon's looking good. The wide receivers, once they get in space, they have looked amazing. It's just the offense has looked really good now that Brian Daboll is there. And the whole team just in general is so much better. And I just don't see them losing to the Lions. Lions have had a good stretch. the past 2 games, but I don't see them beating the Giants here. Next up, we got the Raiders versus the Broncos, and the Raiders just came off of a tough loss against the Colts. And Jeff Saturday, really tough game. Just barely lost. I think they lost. I don't even know how they lost. They lost by like 4 points or something. I don't know if they just. I don't know what happened at the end of the game. I watched it, but I don't remember. I know it was a close game, but I just forgot how they lost. I don't know what happened, but anyways, they played good. Just not good enough. Went for 2 a couple times. Didn't really work out for them. So yeah, but they're going up against the Broncos. And the Broncos just lost a close game to the Titans, but yet again, the offense only put up 10 points to the Tennessee defense, which is by no means amazing. I mean, they're not terrible, but only 10 points. I mean, the defense for the Broncos, exceptional. I mean, great defense, but they just cannot score points. And I'm sure that Derek Carr will figure a way to muster more than 1 point against the Broncos, and that should secure him the win. I mean, I just don't know what's going on with the Broncos. Their offense is just not producing, and I've got to give the win to the Raiders here, and so does my dad. So, yeah. Next up, we got the Cowboys and the Vikings. Cowboys just came off of a tough loss against the Packers. Vikings just came off of a big win against the Bills. Both teams have been playing pretty good this year. I mean, Vikings have been playing really good this year. They lost 1 game to the best team in football right now, and that's about it. They have been playing really well in close game situations, and they just don't seem to be losing. And the Cowboys, as of last week, had a close game situation, but they lost. So, I mean, I really don't see the Cowboys jumping out to a huge lead in this game. And if it comes down to a close game, I don't see Kirk Cousins or that defense losing. But I really don't think it'll be too close. Justin Jefferson's going to pop off. I don't really see the Cowboys winning this game just based off how these 2 teams' seasons have looked this far. So I got to give the win to the Vikings at home, and so does my dad. So, yeah. Next up, we got the Bengals versus the Steelers, and this is a divisional game. Steelers just came off of a pretty big win against the Saints. They are now... What is the Steelers' NFL record?
The Steelers are
3-6. I really thought they were doing a little bit better than that, but they're 3-6. But they've looked good in a couple games. They're putting up points with Kenny Pickett at quarterback. Ooh, is Mitchell Trubisky? I know Kenny Pickett got a concussion, but I think he has been playing. I really haven't watched many Steelers games. Steelers. I think Kenny Pickett's got to be back. What the Okay, I put in Steelers, I click done, and it brings up Deshaun Watson again. Like, why? Okay, yeah, Kenny Pickett's back. I don't even think he missed a game, but like he was under concussion protocol or something. But anyways, as I was saying, the Steelers have looked really good, or pretty competitive. Not really good, but they've looked pretty competitive in a lot of their games that they've played. Kenny Pickett has been somewhat competent and giving the offense points. I mean, I don't know. He's been pretty well. He's been doing pretty well. I don't really know what I'm saying here. But they're going up against the Bengals. Just came off of a Super Bowl loss. And have been looking better and getting stronger throughout the season after starting off pretty poorly at the beginning. But that defense is just starting to get better. Joe Burrow is not making as many bad decisions now. Those wide receivers are starting to get that chemistry. And the line is looking much better. So I got to give the win to the Bengals here. And so does my dad. Okay, so games are just now starting, but I've already made the prediction. So if like a touchdown happens, I'm not changing anything, okay? Because there's like like 5 games left, and I don't even think they're playing right now. Because it goes in like time order. So we got like the West Coast teams right now. Then we got the Monday games, and then we got the 3 Thursday games for freaking Thanksgiving. For the Cowboys versus the freaking Giants. What happened to the Redskins, man? I really do think they should change their team name to the Rednecks instead of the Redskins now. Because, like, I'd love a team called the Rednecks. That'd be heat. But yeah, anyways, we got the Chiefs versus the Chargers. And the Chargers have looked okay this season. Haven't looked absolutely amazing. Justin Herbert has looked good, I suppose. But they just haven't been winning many games. Had a close game against the Broncos like a couple weeks ago. The Falcons game was pretty close. Lost to the 49ers. I mean, it hasn't been a great season for them. And they're going up against, yet again, one of the best teams in football, the Kansas City Chiefs, who I think had their bye week last week. Who did the Chiefs play last week?
The Chiefs.
Okay, well, they basically had a bye week. Played the freaking Jaguars. Which the Jaguars aren't a bad team, but anyways, as I was saying, but the Chiefs handled that pretty smoothly. Now they're going up against the Chargers, divisional game. It is at the Chargers, but I really don't see them losing this game. Just with their offense and the way just the Chargers have looked this season, that just haven't really poked out to me. I mean, I don't watch many West Coast teams, but they just don't have that spark from what I've seen from them. So I'm going to give the win to the Chiefs, and so is my dad. So, yeah. Next up, we got the 49ers versus the Cardinals. And you guys know how I feel about the 49ers. Not the 49ers, the Cardinals. I really don't like them. I really don't think they're all that good. And they're really not all that good. I mean, they beat the freaking Rams, but the Rams aren't all that good. So, really haven't had a great year this year. And they're going up against the 49ers. The 49ers just came off of a divisional win, had a pretty good game. Jimmy Garoppolo is getting better each game. The defense is looking pretty good. Run game's getting better. I mean, just the 49ers team is very solid, very built. They do what they want to do, and they win games. So I got to give the win to the 49ers here, and so does my dad. So, yeah, next up, we got the Bills versus the Lions. We're getting into Thanksgiving games now. And the Lions, I mean, they're a great team. I really do like the Lions. I think they're very competitive. And I like their coach. I like their team. But they're going up against one of the best teams in football on Thanksgiving on national television. I mean, it's on national television. It's the National Football League. But, it's Thanksgiving. People are going to be watching the game. I'm sure there's going to be Bills fans in Detroit. I mean, it's going to be tough for the Bills to lose here. Even though it is away, I really don't see the Lions winning this game. I mean, just the Bills, it's Thanksgiving. I don't see the Bills losing this holiday game. It's just a cool game. You got fans watching. You don't want to lose on Thanksgiving. And so they're going to be playing well, going to be playing good. And they're just a better team than the Lions in general. So I got to give it to the Bills here. Although it could be a pretty close game, I'm not going to lie. The Lions have been looking pretty good. And obviously it's a holiday game for them too. And it's at home. So, I'm sure they're going to have a lot of fans there as well. It'll be interesting. Next up, we got the Giants versus the Cowboys. And look, I think the Giants are a much better team than the Cowboys. Really don't think the Cowboys are all that great. However, the Cowboys have been playing on Thanksgiving for ages. They've been playing the Redskins like every Thanksgiving. However, now they're playing the Giants because why would they play the freaking Commanders? That's just makes no sense. So, going up against the Giants, the Giants, they don't really have that holiday spirit for the Thanksgiving game, but the Cowboys obviously do, because it's freaking Cowboys. They've been playing on Thanksgiving since freaking 1947. Hold on, I'll be right back. So I've got to give the win to the Cowboys here. I actually just recorded this part for like 5 minutes and then it deleted it. So yeah. So anyways, next up we got the Patriots versus the Vikings. And this one really isn't too difficult to tell. I do have the Patriots just coming off of a divisional win against the Jets, so they're probably going to be feeling pretty good. However, they're going up against a really good team in the Vikings, and I really just don't see them winning. It's in Minneapolis. Their fans are going to be going crazy in Minnesota, not Wisconsin, Minnesota. I really don't see the Patriots winning. So, yeah, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I will see you guys next time.
Side to 5. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That one nearly 30 yards.